Why does life not feel like 2012 to 2018 anymore? Why does life not feel peak? What has actually happened? What's changed? Nothing. Nothing has actually changed. Life hasn't changed. You have. But we can get you back there because although nostalgia is nice when you're thinking back, it's also incredibly gut-wrenching. Now, I could sit here and talk about perspective changes, but I'd like to take a little bit more of an active approach with this. Things you can actually do that will bring that spark back and the reason it's actually gone in the first place. So, with that being said, why does life feel grey and colourless now? It doesn't actually feel grey and colourless, it's just grey and colourless in comparison to what you've made yourself so used to. To put it simply, your brain has built up a tolerance to the sort of life nowadays which is being manufactured to make you crave it, to make you addicted to it, and essentially it's just fried the dopamine receptors in your brain. Because everything is quite literally scientifically made to be overstimulating, either that it's so many sources of stimulation in one go, or it's that you're getting it quicker than you should. Big companies quite literally have teams for this. They quite literally are genetically modifying dopamine. The CEO of Netflix quite literally said that their biggest competitor is sleep. Just think about that for a second. They are not competing with Amazon Prime and stuff like that. They're already way ahead of the game. They're competing with your health. They're competing with your happiness. They're competing with your sleep. They are trying to make it so addicting that you don't sleep. In an ideal world, the CEO of Netflix would make everybody so depressed and die through lack of sleep as long as it made him money. Just think about how many people and how many departments they have for manufacturing your addiction and manufacturing your grey and colourless life. That to me is genuinely inhumane. But it's got to the point now that you're so used to these things that you've built up such a high tolerance that nothing in life feels good. Nothing in life feels normal, like I said, in comparison to what you're used to. This genetically modified dopamine has become your only source of income, that any dopamine from regular life that you used to get doesn't have the same intensity or saturation that it once had. So if you want to stop things feeling dull, grey, colourless, whatever, you have to start resetting the system. I mean, it's similar to most things. If you have a caffeine addiction, that the first time you have caffeine, it hits, right? And you think this is brilliant. And eventually that sort of impact lowers a little bit because you built up a little bit of a tolerance. So you have more to counteract this tolerance, and then it starts hitting again until you build up a tolerance to that amount. And it is this really self-destructive cycle that will continue to repeat until you actually cut back, until you allow your systems to reset. Quite literally, like I know I show my coffee cup, but that's what I do with caffeine. Every now and then, if I feel like I'm building up too much of a tolerance, I will cut back. And it actually only takes 11 days for your adenosine system to completely reset. So if you just take 11 days off caffeine, you'll be back to baseline. 11 days is really nothing. But the point is, you have to return to your system's natural state or you are kind of doomed. So actual rules that I gave myself to do this so you can do it also. First is no phone first and last hour of the day. Not only is this going to help you sleep by, not inhibiting the production of melatonin, but having your phone in the first hour of the day sets you up for failure. And you know what? I'm actually going to show you exactly what it does. All right, this here is the time progressing throughout the day, and then this here is your dopamine. So you wake up. Sorry, actually no. This is about your baseline here, give or take. When you wake up, it's somewhere about here. You just naturally wake up here. And if you start the day with scrolling, what you do is you spike your dopamine like crazy. You get the hit from dopamine from scrolling or doing whatever you're doing. Even simple things like checking notifications, seeing high contrast colors, or just seeing something in the corner of a screen, right? You get here. But what happens when you get here is what goes up must come down, and you get this huge crash. And then you're about here for a while, and you feel terrible here. This is where life feels grey and colourless and boring and just naff overall. So what do? You want to stop feeling like this, so you just reach for a quick fix. You start scrolling again. It starts rising. Oh, we're back above baseline. Oh, what's that? You stopped? Oh, we crash again, and it's even lower this time. And the whole point is this is just the simple way of doing it, is that you are either A, chasing this high from scrolling, or you just feel bad. And it's all because you decided to make a bad choice at the beginning of the day by scrolling. Eat at least one meal a day without stimulation. Start cutting back on your dopamine intake and your ability to have one form of stimulation or no form of stimulation at a time. Start doing one thing at a time. This is by far the most important by miles. And if you only take one thing from this video, please just let it be this. If you are walking, then walk. No music, no podcast, no texting, just no phone. Just go for a 20-minute walk. Have active time in your day when you are doing nothing, or at least you don't have streams of income. If you are shitting, leave your phone outside the bathroom. Any scenario ever where you can have a form of stimulation where you don't need it, when you're just having a form of stimulation because you're doing something else, just get rid of that. I work, my garden is my part-time job, right? And I purposefully used to listen to podcasts or listen to music when you like grass cutting or hedge cutting. And I started cutting that back completely. Just wearing ear defenders instead of headphones with no streams of stimulation in. And it just really helped my dopamine and just my brain just reset back to a natural state. I don't feel like permanently stressed. And now I'm a lot happier than I am. I feel like the sparks come back to my life. Now this is gonna feel a little or a lot uncomfortable for a while, simply because you are not used to it. You're not used to just doing one thing at a time. But boredom is your best friend in this scenario. If you feel almost agitatedly bored, that you're like itching, you feel like a little junkie itching to just have some stimulation, just think about that feeling as like an active way of your systems resetting. No phone when you are with others. Unless you are Googling something that you've just been talking about and you want to find out an answer or something like that, your phone shouldn't be out, it shouldn't be in sight, it shouldn't be there. Not only is this rude, but it's just a quick way to brain rot, that you're not actually in the conversation, you don't have any dopamine from having a conversation with people, you're not, substituting any bad habits with good habits because you're not really present, you're just on your phone, and it's bad for your brain. Turn your phone off when you aren't using it. Make it inconvenient. Now this one is pretty good because you can actually check on your phone how many pickups you have a day. Now, I don't know what the regular number is, but when I checked back, it was like, the number you see is just wild. Now, if you can imagine, if you turn your phone off when you aren't using it, the amount of times you pick up your phone, you just get blocked with a black screen because you press on it, doesn't turn on. And if you want to turn it on, it's kind of a whole process. It takes a minute or like 45 seconds for the Apple logo to like come off, and then you get to your phone and you got to unlock it with the passcode, just a little bit more friction, a little bit more inconvenience. It takes like a good 30 seconds for your Wi-Fi to actually come back on and for your phone to start, warming up again. It takes like a good 2-3 minutes. And that 2-3 minutes of inconvenience is just really useful when it's more of a hesitation thing, that you'll often find times without intention, you just pick your phone up and then all of a sudden you're scrolling and rotting and you're like, oh my God, why did I even do that? I didn't even want to do that. It just happened. So putting a big block on that is just, I found really useful. And an obvious one, max one form of stimulation at the same time. If you are watching a film, why are you on TikTok? What are you doing? It's just the most efficient way to rot your brain. If you're gonna have a form of stimulation, fine, right? But have one at a time, seriously. When you have multiple streams of input, of stimulation, of dopamine, you are actively making your life more grey. And I need you to understand that. I'm sure for this video, you might have even found it hard to just sit and watch this video because I haven't put any like brain rot, dopamine, retention, editing on this for me to just get my point across, right? You might have even found it hard to not check the comments. You probably have checked the comments, or you've probably checked your notifications at least 10 times in this video, because again, I'm not like rotting your brain with dopamine to keep you fixed on this image. But please just wind it back. Keep your screen time under 90 minutes a day. Start actually letting your brain heal, because then things just start to feel good. That grey and colourless starts to feel a bit like mild, and then all of a sudden things have high saturation. Like going for a little walk and seeing a leaf fall off a tree actually makes you feel good and happy. Something which sounds almost silly to say, the more easily you are entertained by little things, the better your life will be. And you can't get back to that stage where the spark is back in your life, where things just feel good, if you let your brain rot. So I promise your life will be loads better, and you can return to that 2016, you'll walk outside and all of a sudden it feels like 2018, 2016, whatever, if you can just reset your systems. So, peace and guidance.